We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
What is going on, you guys? This is your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another and business partner. We business partners now. You know what I'm saying? Big Game James in the building. Another episode of Best of Enemies. We back. James, how you been, brother? I mean, I seen you all last week, so I know how you are, but how you been, brother?
Hey, I've been doing good. I had a great time last week. That was pretty awesome. What we did. Hopefully, that can be an annual thing, yearly. Because then we can be the veterans of the thing, and then we can teach all the young people out there. Oh, yeah, what do we look for? Oh, hey, let me tell you this. Let me tell you to look for this. Let me tell you to look for that. You know what I'm saying? We could be the veterans, but man, that was awesome. I can't really put it into words. It's just to be the whole atmosphere, the professionalism Jim Nagy really does with that Senior Bowl. I think it's head and shoulders above everything that's out there. I know the Shrine Bowl is good, but Senior Bowl, I know the Combine's out there. Senior Bowl, that thing is 100% professionalism all the way through, and I got nothing but love for that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was an experience. It definitely was an experience. And I said this on a couple of shows already, but I'll say it here as well. Even if you aren't credentialed, I think that it's definitely worth going out there and just checking it out.
Yeah, because fans can go there every day.
Yeah, and you're right there. You're rubbing elbows with other media media pundits, stuff like that. We saw Jerry Rice out there. We saw T.O. out there. So it was a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. So before we're going to talk about, obviously what's going on with the Eagles and the Cowboys. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Senior Bowl pretty much in depth. But before we get too in depth in anything, I want to ask you, because a lot of people have asked me, and I'm sure they have as well with you, about the Senior Bowl itself, the players and stuff like that. But I want to ask you, as far as just experience go, what stood out to you over that week? Is there anything outside of maybe the players, that kind of really stuck in your head and you're like, damn, that was really cool to be able to do?
I ain't gonna lie. I thought when we had media day, I thought that was my best. That was my best time when we had media day, because that was the time you could really just talk to the players. You didn't have the hustle and bustle of when we had to run down to the field when the practices were over. That was scramble drill. You only had 10 minutes, and if some guys you really wanted, me and you talked about it, there were guys asking goofy questions and hogging up the mic, and we couldn't really get there like we wanted to because everybody swarmed them. So I think media day to me was the biggest thing that stood out, because they brought all the players in there, and it was, hey, you could go to find whoever you wanted. That was the time you could sit down with the player, actually get to know a player. And to me, the players weren't, there were some guys that were kind of standoffish, but for the most part, all the players were willing to give you really good interviews. They really opened up in that part on Wednesday, and we got to see both sides of them. And so I really like that, where you could really just get around the players and kind of get a feel for the player, where I feel like when you're on the field, you couldn't really get a feel for the player of who he was and who he is. Whereas when you got to those interviews, you could really get him by himself. Take, for instance, J.D. Bertrand. He gave me an awesome interview, linebacker from Notre Dame. And I was kind of like, should I interview him? Because it was like 3 people sitting next to him, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. And he was so cool, man. Like, he was very down to earth, and I felt like I kind of got a feel for him, and it made me want to be like, hey, this is a kid. If he's around and maybe a later in the draft, this is a guy I definitely would want to take, just because I seen his tape, I seen him in practice, and then I felt like I got a personal, real interview, and I feel like that was what really stood out to me.
Yeah, I think that people discount the importance of getting to know these people as a player, as a person, right? Like, I mean, Peyton Wilson is a guy that sticks out to me with we both liked his play. We both enjoyed watching him, his tape and everything, but getting to speak to him and hearing how he, thinks of himself, thinks of his position, it really opens up your mind. And you're like, this kid knows what he's talking about, and he's really passionate about it. I will say one thing that stood out to me was also from the media room when I went to, I had it was like my mission to get people to understand how well I felt these tight ends did all year, or all week, I should say. So I went and interviewed Jared Wiley, and something that sticks out to me about that is when you went up to him and was like, "Don't say you like them Eagles now, boy. Don't you do it. Don't you say you like them Eagles." But I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. A lot of these kids, like you said, were very, very open to talking and just open to giving us an in on who they are personally and not just, the player. So it was really cool. But yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way. I wanted to talk about that real quick because there was a lot of moments. So it was cool to hear what kind of stuck out to you. Maybe crystals stuck out to you as well. I don't know.
Yes. Okay. So we're down. All right. So we're gonna talk about this. So we were down there, right? So first day I got down there, I was hungry as hell. I wanted to eat some food. I'm in Alabama. That's really my first time. I think I've been to Alabama when I was younger, but that was my first time, right? So I'm looking for some food. I saw a Whataburger down the street, so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll get Whataburger. But I was already at this spot, so you know how it is, Joe. You somewhere new and you see somewhere something you ain't never seen before. And I saw crystals. I'm like, I had Whataburger. I'm from Texas. You know what I'm saying? They everywhere. So let me go over here and try this crystals. It looked decent. You feel me? So I go over there. I turn the corner. Dog, it's a knockoff White Castles. I mean, knockoff. Like, first of all, the people, the lady was in there, looked scary as hell. I was like, wow, okay. And then, I got this 3-burger meal with fries. And bruh, okay, I see the burgers. I'm like, is this a knockoff White Castles? Because White Castles burgers only look that small ass burger. These burgers were terrible. Like, god awful terrible. They need to blow up crystals and never pump up no crystals again, dog. The only thing good with crystals was their bacon. I got these bacon cheeseburgers. I took the bacon off, threw the burgers away, and just ate the bacon.
Yeah, that was probably one of the funniest things when you hit me up. I was just like, bro, what the hell is crystals, bro?
see, my guy, look, my guy Bear24 says crystals trash. He knows.
It is. It definitely is trash, man. It was just funny. It was definitely funny. We got my girl on Whataburger, so that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that definitely stuck out to me. So we'll talk some football now. We'll start with probably what neither of us really want to talk about. But obviously the Eagles and the Cowboys both ended up on the same couch at the end of the year. We talked all that trash, both of us. We talked all that, and everybody in the comments talked all that trash, and we in the same spot. But obviously new coaches for both teams. You guys have a new defensive coordinator. We have a new offensive and defensive coordinator. Both still have our head coaches. I guess I'll start. I'll let you start with the memories and stuff. Eagles getting Kellen Moore from you guys know him very well. We talked about this while we were out at the Senior Bowl, but we'll rehash a little bit. I personally, it can't be any worse than what we had last year. It really does come down to me. It comes down to Nick Sirianni giving up just total control, really. Like it comes down to Kellen Moore being able to hire his own guys, which he has, and him being able to run the system. If he is the guy running the system, I know that he's a pass-happy player, or coach, excuse me, but we're a pass-happy organization. That's who we want to be. So at least if you're going to do that, if you're going to go all in on being a pass-happy team, get guys in the position that can, run that type of system. I think that Kellen Moore has proven he has a decent, at least good system in his, in his arsenal. He's ran some good offenses with you guys, and Chargers, they were beat up all year last year. So it is what it is. I'm not very excited. I'm not going to sit here and jump off walls and be like, oh, we got him, we got the prize. But I'm not mad. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm, totally disappointed. I think Kellen Moore will be good. He was better than Cliff Kingsbury, in my opinion. And then defensively, Vic Fangio, it brings me back to crystals, because I feel like we had crystals last year. I feel like last year we had crystals, and this year at least we got White Castle. It might not be the best, you know what I'm saying? It's not Five Guys, it's not the best burger in the world, but at least we got the original. We have White Castle. So hey, that doesn't probably sound too, I probably don't sound too excited, but I'm in wait and see mode. I've been saying it since the season has ended. All I can do is have faith and hope that this works out. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. But I'm not the most upset. I'm not the most excited. I'm kind of just in wait and see mode. Excuse me, and we'll see. I'm more excited about offensive than defensive because I'm tired of this scheme. But offensively, I think that Kellen Moore will at least give us a little bit more. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about option routes and he's going to do curls and he's going to do all this stuff. That's more than what we did last year. So I'm cool with it. Like, if we can add that, it is what it is. Let's utilize the middle of the field. Kellen Moore runs the ball a little bit more than we usually do. So I'll kind of leave it there. I'm not too happy, not too mad, but we'll have to wait and see. Seeing what we do in the draft and everything will definitely tell me more about it. But the Cowboys lost DQ. They all lost Dan Quinn. Y'all have a new defensive coordinator. I'll let you take over from there. You let me know how you're feeling about it.
I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not excited. I don't hate it, but I'm not excited over it. Just my opinion, and I've been thoroughly vocal about it, and a lot of people have been calling me hater in the streets, negative. That's right. So I changed my handle to Mr. Pessimistic Content Creator. So if y'all want to go follow me on Twitter, go look it up. I was just BGJ, but now I put it in quotes, Pessimistic Content Creator. So I'm going to wear it with pride. I'm going to wear it with a badge. I'm going to wear it. I'm probably going to change it on my YouTube. So y'all can just keep on saying I'm hating and I'm a hater and I'm negative and whatever. Keep on saying it because I feel free. I feel free. I feel happy and I'm excited because I don't have to sit there and do these fronting stuff. I'm not saying I was fronting, but I try to keep on believing even though what I felt in my heart, Joe. So now I'm just going to believe what I feel in my heart and I don't care about nothing else. So thank you. So this is how I feel about Mike Zimmer. First, I said, I don't hate on Mike Zimmer, Joe, because he is a good coach. He was a good coach in Minnesota. We had him. Dallas had him two stints. Okay, he was there in two stints. He was there in the early 90s and the early 2000s. I liked him when he was at the Bengals. I was like, dang, when he was at the Bengals, I wouldn't mind when they were talking about defensive coordinator. I wouldn't mind Mike Zimmer, but that was like 14 years ago. Okay? That was 14 years ago when I wanted Mike Zimmer. Me personally, 67, bro. That's the age of retirement. Vic Fangio, 65. Okay, that screams to me desperation. And what I said was this, Joe, I don't like the hiring process. It's flawed. Everybody was like, well, who do you like? What young person? No, this, no, that. It's the hiring process, Joe. It's the process. Even when you got Mike McCarthy, you looked at Marvin Lewis just for the get the Rooney rule out the way, and then you went and hired him. Guess what? Dan Quinn leaves. You don't try to do a real search. You stay in your comfortable little lane because Mike Zimmer has been here. Once Mike Zimmer said he was interested in the job, Joe, it was like he had the job, bruh. That's terrible to me. It was the worst kept secret in Dallas Cowboys land. Now, nobody was talking this Mike Zimmer. People were all out. Then all of a sudden, Mike Zimmer comes, and now we get all these people. Oh yeah, Mike Zimmer, he's gonna change this. Just because Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin or Darren Woodson said, "Oh, Mike Zimmer, dude, bro, he's a retread." He's 67 years old. If we don't win this year, what you gonna say about him? Because Mike McCarthy probably gonna be gone, and he ain't gonna be here. It just screams desperation. It screams comfortable. We don't want to move out the box. We interviewed Rex Ryan. Okay, he's 60, 61, and he's been out the league 8 years.
Yeah.
Durden, who was our defensive line coach, he's young. They didn't even really give him a chance, and everybody starts hating on him because of what happened with DQ. Now all of a sudden he's trash. When nobody saying nothing about him before, now all of a sudden he trash. He got the defensive coordinator job in Seattle. I hope he does good. I hope you do good, so you can thumb up Dallas's face because they should have gave you an opportunity. So please go over there and kill it in Seattle so Dallas can see what they missed. So I hope he does good. You get what I'm saying? So it was like you got Marquise Manuel from I believe the Jets. That was just we'll just show you another minority that we're bringing in, but we're not serious, bro. Once they mentioned Mike Zimmer, we all knew he was hired. That's terrible. That's terrible in my opinion. That's a hiring process that's flawed, and that tells me That doesn't scream serious. They're telling me, oh, this is all in year, but you went and got 67-year-old Mike Zimmer and we're all in. We're all in. Okay, let me see. Like I said, I don't think Zimmer's a bad coach. I don't think he doesn't, he's a good, very good defensive coach, but it's the process of how it's always done is why it stinks to me. Okay. And that's what I'm going to say. I hate this process that they do. They're never moving out of their bubble. They're staying the same. And they're trying to convince us that this is the best thing in the world because that's what the Cowboys do, that propaganda crap. And I'm not believing it.
Yeah, it's funny hearing you say that. I feel like I'm saying to myself, yeah, Eagles. I mean, because Vic Fangio was our defensive coordinator last year. I don't care what anybody wants to say or has in their back pocket, whatever it is. He was supposed to be our defensive coordinator last year. And as soon as Matt Patricia and Sean Desai were gone, it was a foregone conclusion that we were going to go after Vic Fangio. Now, it might work out perfectly. I'm not going to sit here and hate on him. Like you said with Zimmer, like, I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think that he's a terrible coach, but you guys have to go see Durden now in Seattle. We got to see Denard Wilson. I think he just got a defensive coordinator job somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I believe he just got a defensive coordinator job somewhere. At least was, interviewing for positions. That's a guy a lot of Eagles fans would have loved to see him running our defense. So I agree. I think that if you look at the Eagles and the Cowboys, it's a lot of comfortability. It's a lot of, we're comfortable with this person, so we'll just give him the job. We're comfortable with what he'll do under our thumb, basically, right? And so we'll give him the job. It's never let's get out of our comfort zone and do what the heck we got to do in order to win. I think Kellen Moore was a little bit more out of their comfort zone than a Vic Fangio was. I'll give them that. I am happy to see that basically what Doug Peterson didn't want to do and cost him his job with Philadelphia. At least Nick Sirianni said, no, I want to stay here. Like, what we got to do to make that happen, I'll do what I got to do. But it's frustrating because the Eagles need something different. I'm tired of seeing, these cornerbacks playing 10 yards off the ball. I'm tired of seeing just lazy defense. I don't feel like it's innovative. I don't feel like it's, moving the needle in any type of way. That's why a lot of people would have loved Wink Martindale. I don't think Wink Martindale is the best defensive coordinator, but he symbolizes change. He symbolizes aggressiveness, and Eagles just don't do that no more, and it's frustrating. So I agree with everything you're saying, and I think that Eagles fans probably feel very similar. I've seen some people in the comments saying that, offense wasn't really necessarily the big problem for the Eagles, which is kind of true, but it was just stale on both ends. And so that's what I'm hoping at least we get from Vic Fangio. Like I said with a joke, that it's kind of like getting White Castle. Nobody knows how to make pivots in their system more than the person that created the system. And I think defensively, that was what killed us as well, is that we just didn't have any adjustments. And when you needed to make adjustments, I don't feel like Sean Desai knew what he was doing. And offensively, we just, if the circle pegged in it fit in the square or in the square hole, we just weren't going to win that game. We were going to do what we were going to do, and if it didn't work, we were just going to lose that game. So it is what it is. I've been welcome to the family, brother, because I've been called pessimistic by Eagles fans for how long? You already know. When I was talking about Jalen Hurts and stuff like that, everybody thinks I'm a hater. So welcome to the team, brother.
I'm here with the team. I signed up and I'm fully well aware of it, and I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? People can keep calling me a hater, can keep calling me whatever. I'm a negative guy. That's fine. Those people don't have to come to my channel and hear those things. I'm not going to be negative it's not negativity. I think that's what I'm going to say right here, Joe. It's not negativity. It's, guess what? This is what I think about the team. So just because I'm not screaming, so what do y'all want me to do? Jump up here and be fake and say, oh, yes, I love that hire. We're going to be this and we're going to be that. And I love what he's going to be able to do. I don't have that feeling. So I'm not going to sit here to you guys and front that I love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And like I said, some people were like, Spags is with the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, he's 64. He's older. Yes, he got the job at 59, but he was borderline. You get what I'm saying? Then they talked to me about Andy Reid. Oh, Andy Reid's in there and he's like 65. But how long has Andy Reid been with the damn Chiefs? Okay, he didn't get the job at 65. He got the job in his 50s, and he's been winning. Okay, we're getting a guy who's 67 years old, and we're supposed to jump up and down about that. And he's been out of football a couple years only. I know his wife and I believe his son. They were in a tragic, they passed. So I get why, but it's still the fact that y'all didn't even take no time to look for no other options. Y'all looked at Mike Zimmer because he's been here. That's why, because y'all familiar with him and y'all feel comfortable, and this is our comfortable state. So let's go get him. Y'all didn't look nowhere else. Once y'all honed in on him, y'all didn't look at anything else. That's a flawed process, Cowboys fans. But y'all keep on believing that this is going to be a great move. That's fine, because if it doesn't, then what? You get what I'm saying? This smells like regression to me. This doesn't smell like a good year to me. This smells like a bad year, because you got a coach on a 1-year deal on a lame duck status. You bring in a 67-year-old defensive coordinator who you're probably not going to have in the future. He's 67, bro. It's just like when they hired Monty Kiffin. He was 72 years old, and Jerry Jones tried to pump because he was he Tampa 2 and he went to Super Bowls, and Monty Kiffin's going to do this. We end up having one of the worst defenses in Dallas Cowboys history. But okay, keep feeding that and we'll see.
Yeah, I'll get off this topic because I didn't want to go this long on it anyways. Okay. I'm going to be honest, but one last thing I want to ask and say is, I think both of us are looking for change, right? I think that maybe in different areas and in different ways, but because for the Eagles, right now it comes down to philosophy for me. The Eagles need to stop giving up, stop undervaluing positions like linebacker, safety, cornerback, especially in the draft, which we'll get into. And that to me is the change. If I see them go ahead and take a linebacker or a cornerback or a safety in the first or second round, I'm gonna feel a little bit better about where my, the trajectory of this franchise is. Is there anything that the Cowboys, in your opinion, can do this offseason to kind of change your mind on where the trajectory is going for them?
Yeah, they can go ahead and really. They said they're all in, which I don't believe at all, one bit. None of that. But let's see, Jerry Jones. He didn't really come and say it. He was alluding to it because the pressure. Are you going all in? He's all from what I think of it. Yeah, this would be shut up, man. You ain't going all in. But that would be something to me if you're really talking to that would it's not going to get me excited, but I would be like, okay, let me see you really go get some real free agents. Okay, last year you tipped your toe in there and you got us a little excited. You tipped your toe in there, but you still got people at a discounted rate. You still were waiting to get them at a cheap rate. You got Gilmore when you could have got him 3 years ago when he was up. You didn't do it. You waited till you got older and he was cheap. Brandon Cooks, you could have got him last year when you needed him really as a second receiver. You waited all year so you didn't have to pay that money and get him cheap. So really, you're still the same thing. So let me see you really go out there and get some real free agents, some guys that can come in and be impact players for the team now. Because if you're all in, you better hit that draft. Your first 3 picks better come in as starters, and you better get difference makers if you're going to go out in free agency. If you're still doing that same thing, and I hear that all in, I'm going to say you're a bunch of liars like always, and we'll see.
Yeah. Shout out to Jeffrey Smith. I think he said basically what you're saying just in one sentence, because I feel like you've said this to me a couple of times, but he said Cowboys need to go all in to win, not all in on the brand. I think that's very, very smart.
And what they do is, Joe, they come in here. It's like Cowboys fans don't see this. Like they do this every year. And we fall for the same thing. We fall for the same cheese every year. You don't think they don't know they have a whole media team and they look and watch fans. All fans are mad. Jerry, go out there and say this. Go out there and say this to keep them quiet and calm them down. So Jerry will come out of, I think we're going to be all in. Yeah, we're going to be all in. Oh, yeah, let's go. You get what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of propaganda, and I'm allowed to say this. I'm allowed to call this out. I don't have to sit there and be in agreement with this crap every single year. It's all right to call this out, and you're not being negative when you do it.
Facts. I agree. I mean, it's realism. It's realism. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 80 people in the chat. We know we haven't been here for a while, so we appreciate everybody that's coming back and showing love. We'll get back to doing these shows, more consistently every week and everything. Combine's coming up, so hopefully both of us will be out there as well. But I do want to get into the Senior Bowl a little bit. I want to talk about the headliners and the head scratchers, for lack of better terms. There was a lot of good players out there. I'll start there. There was a lot of good players out there. So I had a hard time just picking out five. I'm sure James did as well. It was not easy, but
Mm-mm.
went ahead and picked five. Let me make sure I pick up the right. We'll start with yours actually.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start with your headliners. Like I said, it's kind of tough to pick five, but we went ahead and did it. I try to pick different ones from you. I think me and you picked one of the same person, so I picked five different. But I'll let you go ahead and talk to me about your headliners.
All right. So, like you said, there were a lot more people that were probably could have been in the top five here. There was just so many good players. Let's just keep it real. So this was very hard and very difficult to do, in my opinion. But just guys that I was looking at that, one person that I wanted to hear from the beginning was Peyton Wilson. I kept hearing about him, Joe, and I really didn't follow him or anything like that, or I just kept on hearing about him. So Dallas needs linebackers. And, they were talking about he was the darling, but he just had injuries. Well, when we went to the Senior Bowl, I specifically watched him in practices, and he's everything that what people said. He has sideline to sideline ability. Even though he's not a big dude, you could tell he's not a big dude at all. He's probably about 240, maybe. But, man, he doesn't play like that. He plays a lot bigger. He plays physical, and he plays like he said. We interviewed him, and he said, I'll do everything like it's my last rep, my last down, my last everything. And when you watch him play, that's the way he plays. And he said he really wants to, he don't have the green light. I can play multiple positions, and you could see it. He was really commanding that defense when he came in. He was more like the first team defense, him and Cedric Gray, and they worked hand in hand. But I just love the physicality. He was always sticking his nose in there. He was trailing. He was hitting. I mean, he was in behind the line of scrimmage. You could see him. He looks like a film study guy. So the only thing really bad with him is those injuries. He had some really bad injuries in college. So I think that's the thing that's going to probably knock him down. But somebody's going to take a chance on that regardless of that because of what he brings to the table. He has all-out motor. He has athletic ability, and he has good size. He just needs to get in that weight room. And he can get in that weight room and maybe put on a few more pounds. It'll be devastating if he could stay relatively injury-free in the pros because we know how that goes. And then Brandon Fisk from
Bubba
FS. Huh?
Bubba Sparks.
Bubba Sparks. It's so funny. Go check out that interview, man. I said he looked like Bubba Sparks. I said, you know who Bubba Sparks is? He was like, nah. I said, go check him out because I said he looked like in the first videos. But Brandon Fisk, man, he's a dog. He's an absolute animal. A little undersized if you're talking about playing like a one tech, but three tech. Shaden playing four. Shaden out playing the five, playing the edge. The dude has an incredible motor. Really good playing strength, and the motor is what it really gets me. He's athletic enough, but I mean his hands. He's really good with his hands. I mean he's ripping the jerseys down, pulling. I mean you can see him sliding along the line of scrimmage. He's a guy that can play multiple positions. And the biggest thing, like I said, is his motor. In that Senior Bowl game, I think he almost had a sack. He was pushing them guys back in the back of the pocket, and I just love his attitude. And his interviews are really good. You interviewed him, Joe. I interviewed him. He gives a really good interview, and he just seems like he's about ball. And I really love him. I really love what he brings to the table. And Cowboys have a guy named Nelville Gallimore. But if they kept him, they should definitely look at somebody drafting like him. So he's a beast right there. I don't know if I'm saying Leal.
I think it's Latu.
Dog. A dog. Like I know, actually it's UCLA, not TCU, but don't worry about that.
That's my fault.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But if y'all heard about this kid from UCLA and you heard that he's like a top 10 guy or a top 15 guy, it's true. Tell him, Joe, it's true.
Yeah,
he is smooth. That's the biggest thing I can take from his game. He's a smooth player outside of football. Super cool, super chill, just chill guy. And on the field, he's just a smooth player. And he's got surprisingly power. He's got all the moves you want. He can dip. He's got bend. He's got power. He's got speed to power, power to speed. He's everything you want in a player. And everything they've said about him is 100%. He's going to be a nice player in the NFL. Jordan Morgan, Arizona, Love him. My guy Dominic White told me about him, and he said he just loved him. I guess his arms aren't the longest that you want at the left tackle position, but he has everything else. Athletic. He's super athletic, kicks out, powerful, strong. He had the number 77 on. Guess what? When I interviewed him, guess what he said? He said, I like to pattern my game after Tyron Smith. And if you look at his game, it does. He's athletic like him. He's a big dude, and he has a great personality, man. He's super cool. But he said if the Cowboys drafted him, it'd be like they never like Tyron Smith never left. He said, I'll be hitting the ground running, and he's a player. And if the Cowboys could get him, and have Tyler Smith in there, and if they want to keep Tyler Smith at guard and put him at the tackle, I would be very excited about that. And then my last guy is Marshawn Lloyd from the university from USC. To me, he's a Reggie Bush clone. He reminds me of Reggie Bush. He just doesn't have that top end speed like Reggie Bush, but man, he got the ball. As soon as he got the ball, he's exploding through the hole. Great balance. Feet are great. Can get skinny in that hole. Has some good surprising power and can catch the ball out the backfield. I think he's one of the top running backs, in my opinion, that's coming into the draft. And like I said, the only thing he doesn't remind me of Reggie Bush is that top end speed, but he has everything else. And those five guys, there's a whole bunch of other ones, trust me, but those five guys really kind of did it for me.
Yeah, and then you do have a super chat. Before you get into that, I just want to say, just to kind of expand on what you were saying with Latu, he was very uplifting for other players as well, because I was able to speak to him, about who he went, because there were some great one-on-ones. I think that, and a lot of people take a little bit too much stock into the one-on-ones, because at the end of the day, especially offensively, especially with the cornerbacks and wide receivers, it's kind of tipped in the favor of the offense half the time, because they already know what they're going to do. The defense has to react. But Latu was talking about Talise Fuaga, talking about the guys he was going against on the offensive line and how good they were. So it wasn't just a guy. He wasn't one of those guys that's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm the best one here. It is what it is. He was very uplifting, very calm, very smart, a very smart player. So I really do like Latu. But yeah, Brandon Fisk made himself a lot of money this week.
Made a lot of money.
Shout out to him. But yeah, you do have a super chat as well.
Shout out to my dog Tavis Bank. That's Cuzzo right there for the $9.99 holler. Peyton is in my sleeper files. He got the tools. He just got to bulk up though. First of all, if y'all don't know Tavis on the Cowboy side, y'all need to know him because he goes hard in the paint in the draft. Like he be knowing the players. He be knowing them. Like, you feel me? So when Tavis jumps out there and says players, and I say mine, and then he says his, and they match up, I feel good about myself.
Yeah, and shout out to Dom too. Dominic was dropping.
Oh, he's a monster. Dominic is. I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe, but please, if you're a Cowboys fan and you like draft, go follow Dominic White. Please, I beg of you. The man, when I sat down, he knows alignment. He used to play on the offensive line, so obviously he would know that part of it. But that man, we mentioned a player, the man knew him. Any player we mentioned, the man knew him. And not just did he know him, he knew about them when they was coming out the womb. Like when they was still babies in the womb. He knew if they was going to be 7 pounds, 5 ounces. That's how good he was with it. So please, if you're a Cowboys fan and you love draft talk, go follow Dominic White. I think he does with Pick Six Sports, and he's also with BJ Nix and Professor O. Professor O's knows the stuff too. So if you guys really want to know about draft, those are two guys to really hit up, especially Dominic. Salutes to you, dog. You helped me tremendously there.
Big facts. And I'll even say this, going a step further, even if you're not a Cowboys fan, I think the draft is one place you want to look everywhere. Facts. So it was nice not having to defend our team all week. We were just talking football. So definitely I concur with what he's saying. I definitely think you guys should go check those guys out because it's always good to get different insights. But as far as my headliners go, I had Peyton Wilson too. I had to put Peyton Wilson there. That guy just was a dog. He was an absolute you said everything right about him. He's one of my favorites. But Christian Haynes out of UConn, the guard, this is a little bit personal. Obviously, I am from Connecticut, but I think that James will back me up when I say he had a really good week. He played guard. He played a lot of center this week in the Senior Bowl, which I think will really help his stock. I mean, having that type of versatility, and he played well. He was going against some really good defensive linemen and held his own. He's a little bit smaller as far as, height wise than you probably want. But when you're on the interior, I think he'll be fine. He has very long arms, even for his size, which was really good to see. And he just, like I said, he was holding his own, man. I'm excited to see what he does at the combine. I'm excited to see what he does at pro days, because I think that's when people really look like, oh, who's this kid? Because he is very athletic, especially for his size. So Christian Haynes is a guy that I think everybody talked about Jackson Powers Johnson, and I'm surprised neither of us put him on our list, to be honest. But Jackson Powers Johnson is an absolute dog. But he's most likely going to go in the first round, to be 100% honest. And I wouldn't be surprised.
Top 15.
Yeah, I was just about to say, wouldn't be surprised to see him in the team. So if you're looking for something along those lines, I think Christian Haynes gives you a lot of what Jackson Powers gives you, maybe on more of a discount.
Yes.
Jared Wiley, a guy that, I just talked about earlier, how he told him not to like the Eagles, but he does. No, I'm just kidding. But no, and that's why I put TCU. Jared Wiley is a guy that I really, really like. Theo Johnson looked really good. Don't get me wrong. Brevin Spain-Ford looked he looked pretty good. There's some good tight ends in this draft, and I know that there's, Brock Bowers. There's guys that people love as far as top 3 rounds go. Jared Wiley's moving up in the draft as I see it, at least. Just abundance of size. He used to play quarterback, so he knows the game. He knows that what offenses want to do. He understands what quarterbacks want to do, how to make a quarterback comfortable. Played quarterback most of his life. I think he stopped playing quarterback his senior or junior year in high school, so he knows what he's doing. And he's athletic. He's like 6'8". He can block. He can do a little bit of everything. So I'm really, really excited about this kid, if I'm being 100% honest, and I could be totally wrong, but I think that this kid is going to a real big sleeper in this draft. So I'm excited. I was excited to see him go out there and play pretty well, and I think that he got an award for the week. I think he was one of the named like the best tight end of the week on his side of the football. So shout out to him. I hope that he does great in the draft. Another guy I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the combine and in pro days and stuff like that, because I think he'll up his stock even more there. Next one, I guess I don't really have to say too much. Everybody knows this kid at this point. Kenyon Mitchell had himself a week. And I want to go one step further. I probably should have put Max Melton, just because Kenyon, everybody knows who Kenyon Mitchell is at this point. He's going to be a first rounder. Yeah, 6'8". I think he just under 6'8". He's like 6'7" and 4 centimeters or some stuff like that. But Kenyon Mitchell was everywhere. He was sticky. Dog. He's another guy that I think that was kind of fringe first rounder. I think he's going in the first round, no doubt, depending on obviously what happens for the rest of the draft season. But yeah, he was fun to watch. I will say that he was a lot of fun to watch. And the next guy is actually one of your guys. I kind of stole him.
I know.
Cedric Bray, but
that's why you need to leave him alone.
He was all over the place. He really was. I mean, Peyton Wilson was the guy that caught all the eyes, don't get me wrong. But Cedric Gray was all over the place, man, just making plays. Did very well one-on-ones versus the running backs, which was very rare to see. I feel like in the Senior Bowl, those running backs were going crazy. So Cedric Gray is a guy that middle rounds, maybe like second, third, maybe a little bit lower than that, you can probably get Cedric Gray, and I think that he would be a guy that would really, really come in and impact your team. I think a lot of these linebackers, if I'm being honest, will have good careers in the NFL. And then the last one is probably my pet right now. I'm going to be 100% right with you right now.
You was geeked on that one.
The more that I see of him, and shout out to his mom follows me, so shout out to her. But the more that I see of Malik Mustafa, the more that I love this kid. This kid is he's versatile. He is so versatile. He's played everywhere. He's played on the D-line. He's played in the box as a safety. He's played in the corner, slot corner. He's played outside corner. He's done specialty. Anything you want him to do, he can do. And, to even go further on that, I asked him what his favorite thing to do was, and he said everything. He said that they have a Panther package that allows him to be deployed from anywhere on the field when necessary, and he loves that the most because it gives him the most flexibility. A little bit undersized. I will be real. I think he's like 5'10", maybe 5'11". So he is undersized. It is what it is. But with versatility like that, you'll find some way of using him. And like you said, James, that was probably my favorite player of the Senior Bowl outside of like Christian Haynes, just because of that Connecticut, connection. But yeah, Malik Mustafa, and even speaking to him, a very smart, grounded young man. Yeah, that's my draft pet right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's my guy right now. We'll see what happens with him. Now on the opposite spectrum of that, because I do want to get to a mock draft. I want us to get a quick little mock draft in before we get out of here. We got our head scratchers, man. There were some players that just didn't do that well. I copped out. I'm not going to lie, because quarterbacks, we were talking about that all week. Me and you were talking about that all week, whether it be Spencer Rattler or Bo Nix or
They was hype, but they was hyping him, dog. They was really hyping. He had a good game. He had a good game.
He had a good game,
but during the week, no.
Right, and honestly, all the quarterbacks to me didn't really stand out, and I feel like this was kind of set up for you to stand out. I feel like, it was a lot of one-on-ones, a lot of knowing what you were going to do, the defense not knowing. And I didn't feel like anybody really stuck out to me. And the first day of practice for Spencer Rattler, he looked absolutely garbage. I'm going to be real with you. He looked terrible. Happy feet, everything. Second day, everybody looked a little bit better. So I will give him that. And like you said, he did have a good game. But all the quarterbacks to me were just underwhelming.
And he is small.
Very small. Very small.
Small. He like Johnny Manziel small.
I liked Carter Bradley. You remember from South Alabama? He kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah. He had a good game. I'm gonna keep it real. The only one that I thought, Spencer. I mean, the guys you just mentioned from South Alabama, I thought he played well. But only one I thought was really okay to me was Pence from Washington.
Yeah. Phoenix,
You could see his arm. He had a live arm. He's good mobility in the pocket. But even then, like you said, there was nobody that was just like, wow. And honestly, they're having Bo Nix in the first round, like in the top 20. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying.
I do not see that. I mean, if he comes in there and does it, I will be totally surprised. I do not see him being a top 20 quarterback. No way.
I think the quarterback class is very underwhelming. Outside of the Senior Bowl, it's just a very underwhelming. But we'll see what happens.
And you heard what what you would call it. You heard what Merrill Hodge said about Caleb Williams.
Yeah, and then we were saying that all week. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to hate on no young man. I hope that they all get their money. I hope they have.
It ain't hating.
Yeah, it's the truth. It just is the truth. We'll see what happens though. And then the next one hurts my soul as a Penn State fan, but I have to be honest, right?
He was on him. He was on
Kalen King looked bad. Kalen King looked bad. And maybe I'm being extra, aggressive on him because I was watching him so intently, but he looked bad. I mean, everybody was getting the turn. I excuse my language, but he was like the town jump off. You know what I'm saying? He was just, everybody was catching on him. Everybody was making him look bad. Not a good week for him at all. I didn't watch him in the game. I'm not going to be honest if he even played. But the week just not a good week for my guy, Kalen. It is what it is. And that hurts to say, but you got some head scratchers as well. So we'll let you get to that one.
All right, my first head scratcher is I'm gonna say at the bottom, Kingsley Sumatea. I think that's what it is. I'm close. They were hyping him. Even Dominic said, "Hey, he's one of the top guys coming in this class." I'm sorry. I'm not going to front like I'm the offensive lineman guru up in this piece, but daggone, I can tell somebody was not looking good. And, I mean, he had a couple knee braces on, so I was wondering, did he have a knee injury? Because, man, he was coming out his stance so slow. Guys were pushing him back in the pocket. The mobility did not look there. I mean, guys were going outside, coming inside, and he was not being able to match it now. He definitely has power. He's a big man. He's a very big man. But I didn't see those feet moving at that tackle position that you want. Guys were getting past him. They were getting in that backfield. They were pressing him. Has good length, but once again, I just didn't see that mobility coming out of that stance. It looked like a slow stance. It looked like if you could get a guy who has some speed on him with a little bit of power, they gave him a lot of problems. And for what everybody was pumping him as, that's why I was like, that was a disappointment for me. and Devontae Walker. And here's the thing: I hate saying this because I actually interviewed him, and he seems like a really good kid, man. Soft spoken, seems very humble. He said he wanted people to know about. I said, what do they want to know about? He said, I'm a good person. Not only can I play, but I'm a good person. I don't think of myself above anybody else. I come in and work. And he had a great attitude, just a great attitude, Joe. But daggone it, you dropped too many daggone passes up there, man. Like all week had to drop C's, like all week during practice had to drop C's. And man, he can run his routes, Joe. Like he has the ability to run routes. He has good size. He has good quickness. He said he wanted to prove he could beat press coverage. I saw half and half. I saw he might have some problems when he gets in the NFL, but he's athletic. He's long. He's he's got long arms. So I really want to see that. But even in that Senior Bowl, Joe, the first play of the game, they went on a flea flicker and went to him deep drop. They went to him again deep drop. And I think he had another one where it was over the middle and he dropped it. So he's really got to get those hands together. And I think that's the biggest disappointment for me, because a lot of people had him high up there because, he played with Drake May. So, and I asked about that combination. So, and they had a really good click combination after like about 5 or 6 games toward the end of the year. They were on fire. But he was just a disappointment to me because the drops just really killed me, in my opinion. And if he doesn't get that up together, that's going to cause him to drop fairly significantly in the draft, in my opinion, with those drops.
I agree. And if we're talking wide receiver disappointments, I'm disappointed in Xavier Leggett because he's a Cowboys fan. And I'm disappointed in myself for telling James that one. I was so bad.
Yeah, I was sitting there having my ear to it because you were asking him some really good questions, and he looks real. He looks like the truth. You can just look at certain players and look like they have it. He's one of those guys I feel like you can just look at him and says he's got it.
He's going to be an NFL player. Yeah, like when you look at him, he's going to be an NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get more in depth on these players, obviously, but I did want to get a mock draft going, and then after this mock draft, we'll give a quick prediction on what we think is going to happen in this, I guess, Super Bowl. It's like the least Super Bowl ever, but
right. Whack.
It is what it is. It's trash. But I think we both want the refs to win at this point. But we're gonna do our little mock draft, and we'll see what we get, man. We're gonna do 7 rounds. We're gonna
and don't be tripping on us because this is like straight off the top of the dome piece. You feel me? Exactly. Joe said we're just gonna do the mock draft, so we still got to do a lot. This ain't the first one. This is probably gonna be the initial. Dang, we changed so much from that first one. That's what this is gonna be.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do have some interesting offers, but I'm not going to fall that far back. So off the rip, this has actually been happening a little bit too much to me, and it's going to be an interesting conversation if this is to happen. If Chop Robinson is there, that's an Eagles-like player. That's an Eagles type of player. I mean, that's exactly where I think they would go. I'm going to take Chop Robinson right here, but Cameron Kitchens is a guy I would love. Kamari Lassiter, we already saw Kenyon Mitchell went off the board, so I mean that's not a guy we can get. Jackson Powers Johnson, another guy I would love for the Eagles to at least eye on. But I know a lot of Eagles fans will probably hate this, but if Chop Robinson's there, the Eagles are going to take him. I don't think it's much of a question. So I'm going to take Chop Robinson, and you have a couple of offers as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to do offers on this one. We're just gonna. This is initial first one. We'll do offers later, so I ain't doing no offers today. Okay. So who we got here? Who my tackles?
Go right to offensive tackles.
Jonathan Morgan, sign me up.
Jordan Morgan out of AZ.
I mean Jordan Morgan, sign me up.
I see a lot of Cowboys fans on that same wavelength. So
yeah, I'm not even gonna play that game.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of these. I'm definitely not trading with the
Niners.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening. All right, so I can go ahead and get Michael Penix. Look at that. TJ Tampa's a guy I really, really like. If I'm not mistaken, he's like 6'2", 6'3". No, he's only 6'1". I thought he was like 6'2", 6'3". But I like TJ Tampa a lot. That makes a lot of sense for us. Kalen King, I'm sorry, I just can't take him in the second round anymore. It's just maybe in the second pick of second round, but no. Enos Rakestraw is a guy that's really, really good. Kind of gets overshadowed by Chris Drains. I know a lot of people like Jeremiah Trotter. I'm not going to take him here, but I do like him. I think I'm gonna go with one of the cornerbacks. Let me see who we got because sometimes they be putting people in weird spots. Part of me wants to take Max Melton here.
Max Melton.
I am in between. Let me see who we got as safety. I wouldn't mind Cole. I wouldn't mind Bill. I would not mind. I don't mind Javon or Kalen, but not my favorite guys. Let me see who they got. They got Christian Haynes there. They got Cedric Van Pratt there. This is tough. I'm between Christian Haynes and Max Melton right now. I'm gonna be honest, and I think I'm gonna go with Max Melton because I think he's just fast. He is a little bit smaller than you probably want, but fast. He can play special teams. He can play inside. He can play outside. Yeah, I know people probably ain't gonna love it, but I'm going with Max Melton here. And we have our next pick, and I think I'm gonna go with a fan favorite here. Now, a lot of people are high on Jeremiah Trotter Jr., okay? But a lot of people bring up Nakobe Dean and his size. I love Nakobe Dean. I love Jeremiah Trotter, but they're the same size. So if you're scared of Nakobe Dean's size and think that's a factor why he hasn't played great or, he's been hurt a lot, you probably are going to deal with the same things from Jeremiah Trotter. So, but at the end of the day, I don't really care too much about size. It's about play to me, and we're going to bring him home. We're going to get Jeremiah Trotter back in the building.
All right, so I'm up next.
Yes, sir.
All right, so scroll down to all the linebackers right now. Ooh, okay, scroll up a little bit. I like the Marcus Leotu kid from Notre Dame. I like him. And here's the thing. We always are frustrated on the second round picks, injury picks. Peyton Wilson's there, right? I love him. I love Peyton Wilson. But that second round, we always have problems with, and we always picking up injured players. So I can't do it. I love you, Peyton Wilson, but you're probably going to get hurt in the NFL, and it's just going to be our luck. We got the second round jinx. So I'm going to go ahead out there and jump and get our linebacker in Cedric Gray in the second round and start the process of trying to rebuild this linebacking core.
I like that. I like it. Ooh, Peyton Wilson's still there.
Ooh, should I double dip?
This is where it gets interesting because, I was just looking at it because I was like, if he's still there on the Eagles pick, it's gonna be hard for me to say no. But
let me look at some receivers.
Your boy Tez is there. Roman Wilson made himself some money this
he
week.
did, but he's too small. Javon Baker, I like him from Brendan Rice from USC. Ooh, Luke McCaffrey. That's Jerry Rice's
nephew, I think, right?
That's his son.
It's his son, yeah. So,
let me look at running back. Marshawn Lode is still there. Ooh, this is tough right here. Can I look at center?
Guards. Some of the guards can move to center as well.
Okay, so I low-key almost want to double dip this linebacker, dog.
It's tough, man. There's some really good ones still there.
I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm going to just take the chance. Lord, forgive me, but Peyton, I loved you. Third round, I don't trip as much.
Yeah. So you're going Peyton Wilson?
I'm going Peyton Wilson.
I respect it, man. I respect it. All right. I'm not going to lie. I was probably going to go Peyton Wilson. So we got so far. I'll say I do not have those players. So we got our cornerback. We got our linebacker. Part of me wants to go with Junior Colson. I do feel like you can wait a little bit. I do like Tommy Eckenberg a lot. Maurice Laifu, I think is how you said.
He's nice.
I don't want people to get too mad at me, so I'm not going to double dip at edge. Oh, damn. I probably should have took a safety earlier. See, like, do I just reach now? Because I really love Malik Mustafa.
I mean, what is is he a third rounder for you?
They have him at 138. I mean, to me, I think he's like a fourth, fifth round player.
Go what you feel, dog. This your draft.
This would be our fourth player we drafted if that. I love Chris Abrams' drain as well.
I need to get a corner too.
People saying go offensive tackle or go linebacker. Is there any? I mean, Puny did really.
Honestly, Dominic Puny still there. Ooh, I would look at that too. But your boy Mustafa, he's a good player.
He is. I'm kind of leaning towards that, to be honest. So if I was to go offensive tackle, I would probably be looking at Puny.
He's legit for that round.
Glaze, I like.
Mark Glaze ain't that bad either.
And Rose Garden isn't bad either. But I mean, you can get a Christian Jones later in this draft as well. And I think that in the position that the Eagles are in right now, I don't want to spend a premium pick on offensive tackle just because, I mean, you're not going to use him right now if everything goes right. So I am going to probably go a little bit left of what people think maybe I should or will happen. But I'm going to take Malik Mustafa, man. I just love his versatility. I think that's something you can use right now. So I'm going to go with Malik Mustafa.
Wow.
All right, so I'm back up on the board.
Yeah, they done took everybody now.
I'm going to make this one pretty simple, to be 100% honest with you. I know he's an older prospect, quote unquote, but we saw his father. Were you with me when I saw him?
Mm-hmm. We saw his pops.
Yeah, so he looked cool as hell. He deserves to be in Philly, man. He looked like he's about that life. So I'm going with Ray Davis. I think the Eagles need a running back anyways, and I would love to have a running back. We got mad.
Damn, y'all got mad picks, bro.
It feels good to be an Eagles fan sometimes, man.
Bro, y'all had these picks last year.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are compensatory picks. A lot of them are compensatory picks.
Bro,
I would love to get a wide receiver here. Let me see who they got at tight end left. See, look at that. I mean, this is around the area where I expected Jared Wiley to go, and he's been going way higher than I've seen him ever go, to be honest. So shout out to him. I'm happy for him. Wide receiver is a sneakily position that the Eagles really do need, and I've been having my eye on Anais Smith for a while, if I'm being 100% honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy I take a lot. Let me see who else is out there. Somebody said we're trying to trade Hassan Reddick. That's not true. I don't believe that.
I mean, I wouldn't hate on it if y'all did that. If you were,
I'm sure you would hate on that.
No, I'm saying as an Eagles fan, bro, he getting older. You can see if you get what you get from him. I would put out feelers.
Wow, it's true.
See,
All-Pro edge from Ian Rappaport. All-Pro edge rusher Hassan Reddick has received permission to seek a trade.
Makes sense. That makes sense for y'all though. He's older now. It's like he's kind of tapped out now. You feel me? That makes sense.
Bruh.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That sucks, bro. I mean, it does make sense when you really sit there and think about it, but I don't really want to sit there and think about it, if I'm being honest.
You're going to have to now.
Yeah, now I got another. Damn. I guess I know what I'm doing my video about later. So I'm between wide receiver and offensive tackle. I'm going to go with Christian Jones because he's like the last guy that I really think. I mean, Ethan Driscoll's all right, but I'm going to go with Christian Jones. I'm going to go with Christian Jones out of Texas. And we're back.
Damn.
Back up on the scene with a pocket full of green. So it makes my job a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead.
Like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy.
I'm going to go ahead and get a nice Smith. All right, finally, you're back. I was wondering if you guys even picked anymore.
Bro, there ain't nobody here. Look at this. This is the litter. Wow.
Tyrese Knight out of UTEP was pretty good this week, or that week, I should say. Feels like it just ended.
Wow.
You still got Maurice.
No, I got enough linebackers, bro. I need a running back. I need a defensive tackle. I need an edge. I need a cornerback. What are our running backs looking like?
Rasheen Ali did really good at the
Yeah, he
senior.
did. Didn't that Vidal? He had a good little game too. He looked pretty good too. Look at let's look at receivers. Let's look at receivers.
He's a little short though. He's like 5'7".
Yeah, I don't want that. He's too little.
Damn, them wide receivers went quick.
All them receivers is gone, bro. And I don't know a lot of these guys at the end. That's where I gotta devil in a little bit more. Let me go to edge.
You got some guys.
Yeah, there's a few guys. I feel like I need an edge or a corner.
A couple guys as well.
Um,
Shaw Smith Wade was doing
yeah,
this week.
that's what I was looking at. Shaw. What's his? We'll go back up to him.
Shaw Smith Wade.
Yeah, from Washington, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, because I remember him. He was okay, but he's a little smallish though.
Yeah, he's like 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10". You know they ain't gonna. Well, Dan Quinn ain't there no more, so. And let's go to the offensive line. My guards, right quick. Is Dominic gone?
Puny.
Yeah.
I think they have him at tackle. Yeah, I think he's gone.
Damn, they done took everybody, bro. So let's go to that corner, and I'm gonna go ahead and take your boy at corner.
Shaw Smith Wade.
Yeah, Shaw Smith Wade. That might be a little bit of reach, but I feel like, boy, they took we gonna be. It's gonna be tough in this draft. You're gonna have to really know your stuff.
Nehemiah Pritchard's good too. If you want a little bit more size, he's 6'1". But
what about is Jordan Jefferson going from LSU at defensive tackle? Let's look at my defensive tackles.
It looks like it.
See, they weren't playing around in this draft. They knew.
Yeah, they knew what we wanted.
They knew what we wanted. Yeah, let me go ahead and take him. I'm gonna take the corner right there. I'm gonna just stay with
Shaw Smith Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look who's back up on the scene.
Jeez, that's terrible.
Now, when you were asking about defensive tackles, somebody actually stuck out to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take him. Gabe Hall out of Baylor. He had a good week as well. I don't think the Eagles are in desperate need of a defensive tackle, but it's always a position I like to see them add to the rotation. So I think that he would be somebody that would definitely fit in what we like to do. And let me just bring up his measurables real quick. I was thinking about taking Eric Watts out of UConn, but I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm going to be that guy. Yeah, he's 6'5", 290. So, yeah, I add a little bit of size, add a little bit of athleticism. I like that. And we back. Let me see who I picked real quick.
This is terrible, man. Y'all got 1,500 picks.
Now, I'm going to do this, and it's not to get you mad, but I want 2 linebackers out of this draft. So I'm going to go ahead and take Maurice Lafu out of.
You ain't making me mad. Like, he gone now. I got my 2 guys that should be starters. Like my first 3 guys should be starters, and that's what we want.
True. Maurice, I just want to make sure
his measurables aren't bad.
Yeah, I wanted to see what he was.
He is 6'4". No. He's Maurice linebacker. I just saw it. They had him at an edge, didn't they?
I believe so. I don't know where the hell he is.
Yeah, they had him at an edge. Here you go. Oh, he's 6'2", 240.
All right, I like that. All right,
and he's nice. I like him. He's a good player.
If I'm picking next again, bro, I'm alive. I think that's my last pick. All right, you're up.
Okay, so this is it right here. Damn, I should have got a receiver. All the receivers are gone, bro. I think I need to get some defense, like an edge or a tackle. Who's my edge guys?
Jalen Hunt is, I don't know how you say his name, but Jalen, Jalix?
Austin Booker. Austin Booker. Take him.
Austin
Austin Booker. Mm-hmm.
Booker's
He's
nice.
sneaky. He's sneaky.
Austin Booker's definitely nice.
All right, no, and then let's go. So I got an edge, I got linebacker, I got tackle, I got corner.
You want to see your picks real quick?
Yeah, so I got quite a bit. Damn, I got all defense. 4 defensive player, 1 offensive player. So let me hit an offensive line. I need a running back, dog. Go to running backs. Ain't nobody there. Go to running back. I'm gonna take Rasheen Ali right here.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. That's a good spot.
Mm-hmm. And then so we got that. Let's hit the offensive line. Let's go with a guard. Scroll up just a little bit. I think wasn't Jacob Monk there. I think Monk was there.
I think it was a different Duke guy.
Oh, okay, it was a different Duke guy.
Yeah, it was from the O line. They had Dwayne Carter, who I think I haven't talked about a lot, but he did very well too.
Let's look at receiver. I got to snag one out here. At least a developmental guy. Who's tall up in here? I need somebody tall. I gotta look at my receivers.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, but he's from somewhere I don't even know.
He's
hell no.
I don't even say. These late round guys.
Yeah, these ones I really got to look up. So, because I feel like I need to get, because we got some offensive linemen, okay, that are developmental that could work. So I feel like I really need to hit another receiver here, but it's going to be developmental. All this is going to be developmental right here. So let's look at the. I don't want to get a small school guy because I feel like they're not going to do anything.
I mean, you got out of Michigan, I believe Cornelius Johnson. He's 6'2".
Yeah, let's go. Cornelius Johnson.
All right, so our first mock draft of draft season. You got Jordan Morgan, Cedric Gray, Peyton Wilson, Shaw Smith-Wade, Austin Booker, Racine Ali, and Cornelius Johnson. Not a bad one at all.
I don't think that's terrible for the first one.
That's not. Let me screenshot this real quick before I forget, and then we don't have it. All right. And then the Eagles have 45,000 picks. We got Chop Robinson, we got Max Melton, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Malik Mustafa, Ray Davis. I think my first 5 picks are starters, to be real with you. Like that, I'm cool with that. Maybe Max Melton has to wait a little bit of time, but I'm cool with that. Christian Jones out of Texas, Anais Smith, who I think could be our number 3, number 4 guy. Gabe Hall, another guy I think can get into the lineup right away. Maurice Lafayette.
You getting him that late? That's a steal, in my opinion.
It really is. Both of them, to be honest. Maurice and Gabe, I think are kind of steals. So I'm cool with this. I'm okay with this. I'm not mad at it. The Eagles having like 15,000 picks really helps making decisions. I will say that.
Yeah,
I would definitely say that. So I'm cool with it. How you feel about it?
I don't feel bad about my draft. Like I said, I feel like if you keeping a Tyler Smith at the guard position, Jordan Morgan comes right in and hits the ground running. Especially if you don't sit there and keep playing that damn game with Tyron Smith. It's time to move on, dog. Let him go do something, be great somewhere else. Okay, it's time to move on. So I feel like that's a 10-year starter in my opinion. I feel like he has all the traits. Like he said, it'd be like he never left. So I feel like I love that pick. And then when I come down with Cedric Gray. You liked him. I felt like if I didn't get him now, he'd have been gone the next round. I think he would have been gone by the next round. So I wanted to get him now. Sideline to sideline guy. He had 7 tackles in that Senior Bowl game. So excited about that. Peyton Wilson, I love him. And to get him in the 3rd round, I think I feel better about that. Don't want to touch him in the 1st. Skeptical about the 2nd, but we talked about those injuries. And to catch him in the 3rd, I got to roll with that one. You feel me? I can't let him slide on the 3rd. So I'm happy about those 3 guys. I think they're starters. And then when we talked about my other pick, which was, can you pull that back up? Oh, my cornerback. Was the cornerback? I believe it was the cornerback. Shaw Smith-Wade. I like him. I like what he looked good in the Senior Bowl. He played well. Obviously, I don't think he's like a top guy. The size is something that you're a little worried about, but you could be losing to Jordan Lewis. You need to replace. You got an Eric Scott there, so he could maybe jump in some slot positions. So I think he could compete for that. And then when you're talking about, I think the sleeper I got is the kid from Kansas, Booker. He's a sleeper. I think he had like 7 sacks this year, and he came on at the end of the year. I think he's a sleeper pick. And then Rasheen Ali, I think that's a great pick for where it was. He's not a big back. He's more like of a scat back, but he can catch the ball out the backfield, but he can really get skinny. He runs hard, and to get him at that spot, I think that's okay for me. I really wanted to get a receiver higher than I did. But they took them receivers early and quick, so it must be some receivers up in there. So that was a tough draft, Joe. They took a lot of our guys early.
Yeah, that was easy, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get easier. It's gonna get better. Yeah, they're talking about Reddick asking for $30 million a year. That's wild.
He tripping, bro. You ain't getting that nowhere. I'll be like that too. As soon as he requested it, I would already put it in the media. 6 a trade.
Yeah, right. He obviously don't want to play here, so you can go.
He don't want to play. Ain't no way we paying a 29-year-old $30 million a year. Are you crazy? And anybody who pays that to him is crazy.
And just to be a pass rusher, don't get me wrong, he's a great pass rusher, but
that's all he does.
That's all he is. So
and he ain't big. He's small. He's not even a big pass rusher. He's like 6'1". Hell no. If any team paid $30 million to him, y'all are crazy.
Yeah, that's wow. I mean, hey, I took Chop, so he could he can replace.
Look, they said that's extortion. I feel you, dog.
That's crazy, bro. Like, damn, bro. It is what it is.
That agent, your agent is crazy, bro.
That sucks for you guys too, though, because you guys got to pay Micah pretty soon. So if he gets that 30 mil anyway,
I hope he don't, because then that's gonna make Micah gonna get 50.
Yeah, for real. Micah gonna ask for like 50. Like.
They say, Hassan Reddick getting 30, I'm getting 50.
Yeah.
Ain't he 29?
10 sacks a year, I get it. People are, saying I'm bringing him back 10 sacks. I'm not for 30 mil.
And
I'm not just 3 mil.
No.
Like
if all you can do is sack the quarterback and you can't add no other value, and you're not great against the run, and you're not a big player, and you're 29, no, it ain't just about sacks. I love sacks, but trust me, this game ain't just about sacks. They got to have other things they can do well to pay that kind of money. You don't pay $30 million for a one-trick pony.
Yeah, Micah's what, 26?
No, Micah's only like 24.
Look at that, yeah. So I thought he was even a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's only 23, 24, because remember, he left early.
Yeah. 27 people were saying, what? How old is he?
He's 20. He is not no 27 years old. Micah Parsons is not 27. Hell,
because I know he's young, so I know
he can't be more. Mike, no.
24. Yeah, 24.
That's what I thought. 24, 27. Are you crazy?
I was like, ain't no way. I feel old if he's been in the league that long, bro.
Right.
So we can't get through this show without me getting bad news. It is what it is. But last thing I want to just talk about quickly is this non-Super Bowl. I'll get it out of the way quick. I really could care less who wins this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate both of these teams. I hope that the Chiefs win, because I can't stand 49ers fans, and I can't stand the 49ers acting like they've been slept on all year and everybody's been so disrespectful to them. I'm so tired of that narrative. So I guess I'm going for the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going for the Chiefs. I hope they win like 24-6.
I'm with you. I hope it's a blowout. I hope Brock Purdy looks like straight hot garbage trash. I can't stand the Niners. They make me sick. I can't stand them. Debo Samuel, just shut up. He's just getting on my nerves. His little cocky self. But I get it. Why you cocky? You can't. But I want that cockiness to come down. So Chiefs, blow these boys out. Don't let. I don't want to see me a game. I want this to be the worst televised Super Bowl ever. I want this to be the worst watched Super Bowl ever. I want it to be the worst everything. I don't want this Super Bowl is whack. I don't want to see it. I mean, I don't hate on Kansas City. I don't hate on Pat Mahomes, but you know how it is. Once you start getting there every year, now people don't want to see you no more.
Exactly.
So I think that's where we're getting with Pat Mahomes. I definitely don't hate on him, but I think we're getting to the point where we're tired of seeing them every year now. And the 49ers, just excuse my language, but F y'all.
I agree.
F everything about San Francisco. Everything about y'all. I ain't gonna never give y'all no love. F y'all.
I agree. Somebody said I want to see Debo and CMC crying in pain. No cap. I agree. I hope that they suck. I can't wait to hear them complain. That's the one thing that kind of sucks is that no matter who wins or loses, you know the other team's going to complain. You know there's going to be because both of these teams have complained so much this season that it's insane. So I hope it's a good game. I know I'm not going to watch it.
I don't even want to watch it.
I don't want to, but I'm probably going to, James. I
probably will peek, but I'm not going to intentionally watch this. I'll probably peek because it's the Super Bowl. You know, if you say, oh, did you see that play? Then I'll probably jump in there and check it out. But no, I don't know. I'm a hater. Okay, I'm a straight hater. I'm a hater of San Francisco. I'm a hater of Brock Purdy. I don't like none of y'all. I don't like your team. I don't like your fans. I don't like nothing about y'all. No, I ain't gonna say it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like fans. Y'all know what I mean. I don't like nothing about y'all. So I don't wish nothing good, and I don't want y'all getting 6 because that's all y'all gonna say to Dallas Cowboys fans. But shut up.
Yeah, it's deeper for y'all with that 6. I know.
Right. Keep them away from that 6 because they will never leave us alone.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. I'm a hater. I don't care. Call me a hater. Call me a salty
hater. Yep. Say hater.
You bad, you not there. All true.
All true. Wear with pride.
Yeah, all true. My girl's over here like, yeah, James, preach, James. And speaking of that, we got some pictures coming about. I will get out of here and we'll give our final thoughts. But we do got some pictures coming out from the Senior Bowl. My girl took some
pictures.
They're really, really nice. So I'm excited to show everybody that. But we'll be back next week. James, you got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get up out of here?
Oh, no, just expand upon that. Yes, this girl's a beast. Like, she did some pictures for me professionally, and I sent them to my girl. My girl's like, where'd you get those from? I haven't seen those. And so it was, they were very professional. I mean, they were amazing. So if anybody y'all need that, make a little side money.
If you have any pictures, she's great.
Yeah, she's great. You feel? What's up, Trey? But it was like I said, Senior Bowl week. It was finally good to meet my bro. My brother from another, you know what I'm saying? We had been doing the show for damn near 2 years and we hadn't physically met, you feel me? But we felt like we knew each other forever. So to finally really get there to meet my dog, we had a great week. It was just a great time. So hopefully, the combine can happen for us too. We can go down there and do that too. We're a great combination, y'all. And really appreciate the support y'all gave for Best of Enemies since we started up until now. The growth has been exponential and it's been awesome. It's been great. I'm glad I got Joe as my co-host, and I just really appreciate the fans in here because it has gotten crazy sometimes, but for the most part in these 2 years, our community, our people who rock with us, it's been real good. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody. I always want to make sure I give a shout out to the Eagles people and the Cowboys people, because even though we talk trash, it don't get real crazy up in here. We've had a few, but for 2 years, it's been pretty good. And I just want to tell y'all, I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, no, I agree. And your girl says she needs family pictures. We cool with a nice little vacation down to Ohio. I think my girl will be down for it. Yeah. My girl said y'all welcome down here as well. So yeah,
I'm trying to go to Florida.
I know. Yeah, I was just about to say. That's
You
probably.
know what I mean? I ain't trying to y'all come to Ohio. We trying to come to Florida, dog. We ain't trying to come to Ohio. We trying to come to
Hey, bro,
Florida.
yeah, always welcome. Like you said, man, it was an amazing time being able to meet you, being able to, just chop it up. And it's funny because, and this is the last thing I'll say, but I said it, I think, like the second day we were out there. It was like we never said to each other, "Hey, it's nice to finally meet you." We knew each other. We
Yeah,
knew
it
each
was like,
other.
yeah, we was just
Cool.
talking.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it's a blessing to be able to do this. It's a blessing to have the audience that we have. So like he said, we appreciate y'all so much, man. But he said, did we give each other a high five? I don't think we did. We got it.
We did, but we sang the song though.
We sang the song.
We sang the song. We didn't high five, but we definitely gave the song. But I appreciate you, John. We're gonna have to jump on that one next time.
Definitely.
We're gonna have to take a picture like, give me a high five.
Yeah, that's the one we messed it up. We messed up. But hey, there's always next event, which we will be covering. We will be going hard. I'm talking it into existence. I know James is working on his end to get it all situated. I am as well. But yeah, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Like he said, you guys, for the most part, most of you guys, I'll say a good 90% of the people that watch this show really show respect, really show love, and it does mean a lot. It really does mean a lot. So yeah, other than that, enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. I hate it. I don't know. It's weird. I hate it.
I'm not saying enjoy your Super Bowl.
Yeah, just enjoy your family. Next year, hopefully, we'll be talking about two real teams like the Eagles and whoever's going to be on the AFC side.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna just stay quiet.
But y'all know what it is, man. I am Joe. That's my dog James, and we are the best enemies. Peace.
We're brothers.